It's time for another cruise adventure, this time on the Carnival Firenze out of Long Beach, California. And on this itinerary, it's going to take us to Puerto Vallarta, Mazatlán, and Cabo San Lucas on a 7-day adventure. Yeah, you may remember that. This is the same itinerary as the Love Boat went on. But remember, we always tell you to arrive a day early in case there's any problems. And that's what we do. And instead, we stay at this historic ship, the Queen Mary. When taking a cruise out of Long Beach, the best thing to do is, well, to fly directly into Long Beach. The commute from the Long Beach airport to the cruise terminal is about 15 minutes. So that's a nice, easy commute. If you're coming from Los Angeles, the commute from Los Angeles down the 405 freeway is going to take you at least an hour. And that's on a good day. If something's wrong, there's no telling how long it'll take you. But for us, the best place is to fly directly into Long Beach. And where we stayed at was right near the cruise terminal, the Queen Mary. It's a historic ship right next to the cruise ship terminal. You'll see the cruise line right here. And the Queen Mary is ported right next to it. And where you'll get onto the cruise ship, the entrance to this big white cruise terminal building is right here. So those see the queues right here. If you're driving in, there's a parking lot right across the street. So you can pay to park over here. Just bring your luggage across the street, or I think there's even porters right here to pick up your luggage. But we dropped our luggage off right here next to where we checked in at. So it was convenient just to stay at the Queen Mary. It costs a little more to stay at the Queen Mary, but it's very convenient. It costs a little more to fly into Long Beach, but it's also very convenient. We've flown into both Long Beach and LAX, and it's hands down the easiest way is Long Beach, even though you pay a little more money for getting there. What we did was one of the other trips that we stayed somewhere in this area and just went halfway to the cruise terminal. But it was a hassle having to get Uber or taxi. Just going to Long Beach, trust me. It's a whole lot easier. I'll show you the airport. Welcome to Long Beach. Even though a couple of airlines fly into Long Beach, it seems like the majority were Southwest Airlines. Now, the Long Beach airport is kind of small. There's about 8 gates, it looks like. And each of the gates are kind of like this. This is gate number 6 for Southwest. And they load the plane from the front and the back. No jet bridge. You just walk on with the walk out onto the concrete and walk on. So, pretty small airport. They even still have the original terminal from 1941, now a historic landmark. And baggage claim here is simple. Well, there's only one baggage claim area. If you have luggage, this is where you'll pick it up. And if you fly into the port of Long Beach, you may as well just fly directly to Long Beach. You get direct flights to LAX, but the time it takes to get down here and the inconvenience may be worth it to pay a little bit extra to go ahead and come into a smaller airport. 10 minutes, we're back to catch an Uber over to the Queen Mary. We'll talk to you in a second. We took an Uber over to the Queen Mary, and that cost us about $55. Little did we know that you could also take a taxi for cheaper. So we always do a price comparison. This was on the way back to the airport from the cruise terminal. It was only $40. So take a taxi. The Queen Mary was built in 1934 and meant to house about 2,000 passengers, or about half the size of the Firenze. And the first thing you'll want to do when spotting the ship is take a selfie. So a great thing about Long Beach is you could stay on an old ship, the Queen Mary, and then head right over to where the new ship is going to be. So this is where the Firenze is going to be docked at, is right here at this dome. And just by chance, we're here during Halloween. So also, we have the dark harbor going on. I'm not much for a scary person, but yeah, some people like it. Our son is going to be going to the dark harbor, but we're not. Not my cup of tea. But anyway, if you're looking to stay at the Queen Mary, you can see exactly how far it is. we're going to walk over there. It's only 100 yards at best. And they have an old submarine out here too. This is a little historical part. Not sure how much you can get on the submarine or how much it costs, but I'm not so sure that I would even attempt to get on there. It looks kind of beaten up. But anyway, we'll show you the room on the Queen Mary. You've seen videos of the hallways of the new ships. Hallways were long in the old days too. As you can see, this hallway never ends. Goes from one end of the ship to the other. We'll take you around and show you some of the other exciting places around the ship. But this is our room. We're in 147. It's an older room. So if you're looking for all the modern conveniences, may not be the room for you. But this is a nice room. You can get all the way over on one end of the room. Good view out the window. And like I say, the window's open. So we're going to have to come back and open the window. That one was a little janky. It may not open as good. But looking through the room, this is what the room looks like. A double bed. That must be for a connecting room, so I don't know what's in there. Coming through this way, we have a little desk that folds out. No fridge. Surprised with that. Have a little desk back at this room, but I hadn't figured out where the light is. And then the bathroom. The bathroom is old, so not sure what all the knobs do. But as you can see, it's all looks kind of original. Toilet, but instead of having a normal flush on the toilet, we got this little mabob. Shanks. Shanks for that going out. Little hair dryer. So that's a room on the Queen Mary. And if you're looking for electrical outlets, there aren't a lot of those either. So no sense in showing you because, well, I haven't found an electrical outlet yet. So I don't think any. Now we can look out. Oh, here's something you don't see. That's the ventilation. That's the air conditioning blowing in through a pipe. And we'll take you out the window. This is what you pay the money for. And to be right next to the cruise ship whenever it comes through. So we'll actually take you out the window. And we'll take you around and look at the other side too. And from up on the ship, you can get a little bit better view of the dark harbor. It's kind of like a haunted house on steroids. Pretty huge area. And if you come to this, buy them tickets way in advance. It's $30 if you get an advance purchase. Pick it up here at the site, and it's $60 per person. That just includes admission. Doesn't get you into any of the drink areas or anything like that. Like I say, we're in a pretty excellent location. Right on the ship, looking at downtown Long Beach. Something that you don't usually see on a cruise ship, military guns. Because yes, this cruise ship was in World War II. After being in airports pretty much all day, we left New Orleans. Well, we were on the road at 4 o'clock in the morning, and we're held up at the New Orleans airport because of a nurses convention and a Taylor Swift concert that had ended that weekend. So the traffic getting to the airport was pretty bad, and security was bad. They were delayed us about 2 hours going through security. So we were ready for a drink. Time to unwind and let vacation begin. And as you can tell by the prices on the menu, California's expensive. Essentially, they're the same prices as on the cruise ships, so we're getting prepared for our voyage right now. And, well, if you're on vacation, you have to have one of these. And if you got one of those, you may as well have a couple of these. So we sat down and have a few drinks before going off to the restaurant. Yes, the Queen Mary has its own restaurant, the Chelsea Chowder House. So we sat there and have a little meal there. Of course, I have to have a beer, so get that while you're waiting. And then Cheryl has to be healthy and gets a lettuce wedge. And I have to be unhealthy and get fish and chips. So I loved the fish and chips. They were excellent. So this is the excitement at night for the dark harbor right outside the Queen Mary during Halloween. So like I say, this is about $60 per person if you pay at the event. But you can purchase tickets before in a pre-sale for $30. So go ahead and purchase your ticket in advance if you plan on coming to this. And it is going to be crowded later on. Our son has tickets for 8 o'clock. So about another hour. They're just now letting people in. And like I say, you can see the cruise ship terminal right in the background. So right in the heart of everything. It's always nice being on an old ship. One that doesn't have necessarily all the modern conveniences. But this was an awesome place to stay. Right convenient to where that the other cruise ship's going to dock. And that'll be the Carnival Firenze. That's just right here. You can see she's already here. It's, let's see what time it is. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning, and she's been here for a while. They're already offloading luggage and loading up supplies. All the stuff that's going to take us for the next week. And right next door is the cruise ship terminal, the big dome. This is where you check in at and get all your paperwork done and get on the ship. Like I say, last night you saw all the partying going on out here. Of course, there's even a pirate ship out in the middle of the haunted house. But this is an excellent ship to stay on before you get on the big modern cruise ship. Gives you a feeling on how things were back in the old days. And that you gotta love. So that's our next stop, the Firenze. I came back to do my Titanic rendition here with the King of the World, but seems like that enough people have done it. They put up a caution sign. But there is something else that's down here. Here you can see some of the auxiliary controls. If by chance they needed to control the ship from way up here at the front, there was controls leading that actually somewhat move. They don't move anything, but somewhat give you an idea of what it would be like. So in case something happened to the controls in the wheelhouse back here, there would be an alternate means of controlling the ship. So a little more history for it. Oh, and one more thing. The anchors that are on these ships. They seem like a huge piece of metal, and they are. If you look here, I'll put my foot next to it. It's bigger than my foot. So some heavy anchors. And the white link, you may wonder why there's a white link here. The white link signals a distance. Could be 100 feet, could be 50 feet, but every so many feet they put a white link into the chain. That way they could see how much chain is off the ship and laying on the ocean floor. That way to give them a good spot. And this is a good area where you can see how old meets new. Here you used to have wide open decks for people to walk around the ship, get a little exercise. We've done this on a few of our trips where that we walk around getting a little bit of exercise. And this is also where the lifeboats would have been connected. So you see up here the hooks. These hooks would have been connected to a lifeboat. Back when these ships were made though, the lifeboats were wooden. So those have started to deteriorate away. And some of them have been restored and are setting down on land just below here. But to give you an idea, this would be all kind of covered with all the lifeboats. A good area to sit out, watch the wildlife and scenery go by as you're cruising through the world. No telling how many miles this ship has on it going around. And I can see some wildlife in the water also. I see a, looks like a dolphin over here. If you look at the very back, we'll see if we can see him again. And if so, I'll zoom in on it whenever I get home. But I see a dolphin splashing around at the very back of the Firenze. So he's probably trying to see if it stirred up a fish. It's kind of disoriented for him. But back to the old ship, looking around at it. Of course, if you watch Titanic, this would have been very similar to the decks on the Titanic. And here we can see the giant funnels, just like came crashing down on Titanic. Excellent historical trip though, just walking around the ship.
And you can't come on an old ship like this without doing your best Titanic impression. I'm king of the world!
And this is the main promenade going through the Queen Mary. And in case you looked at this and it kind of seems odd and familiar, well, it's from the Disney. Disney once owned the Queen Mary and patterned some of their films after it. So a little bit of information on the Queen Mary. We'll walk through the hallways. We came up here the other night. If you're staying in the Queen Mary, there's all kinds of exhibits lined up.
24 hours a day there was a chow line. All I can remember was sneaking throughout the ship and eventually getting to somewhere where there was food.
So the exhibits, if you're a passenger or staying here, are going 24 hours a day. So there's always something to do and see here. This is the main saloon on the deck. So this would be where that if you were rich, you would be hanging around in here. Of course, in the days, smoking a cigarette, having a bite to eat, having a drink, all kinds of stuff going on in here. But now, it's a big meeting area. This is where you would have your reception for a wedding. So wedding receptions, that sort of thing, all up in here. And of course, beautiful painting all the way at the other end. So you could imagine what it would look like in the day when it was new, but still looks pretty good today.
And though this ship does have some convenience, it's nothing compared to the ship that we're going on. Of course, we have a coffee shop and everything, and another cafe where we had breakfast. Like I say, everything on here is expensive. Breakfast is about $20 a person. This bird says it all. This is before going on, well, the Firenze, and after going on the Firenze. Just fat and happy. It is always fun to get on the ship. And it's always fun to watch somebody else's impression whenever that they first walk onto a ship. As soon as you walk in, the ship is all lit up with all kinds of sounds, piano playing, people welcome you, and you look around and you say, wow, this is going to float, and this is what we're going to be on for the next week. And you can't wait to go around and explore every part of the ship. And that is us on every ship that we've ever been on, is wow. But always go to your muster station first. And that's exactly what we do before going off and, well, grabbing a sandwich. They had a sandwich bar here that had an excellent Cuban sandwich.
And this is a walkthrough of the Firenze. Standing at the front door, you have to have a card to turn on the power here. So this is a new room without the card in the slot. You have no power in the room and none of the outlets work. But standing at the front door looking out, we'll take a quick walkthrough. So on the left side, we have our closets. This closet is just hanging area. This closet has half hanging and half where you could put your shoes at the bottom. The third closet is your safe and all the drawers. These all pull out, so pretty nice drawers, all the laundry baskets, everything that you need there. Looking back, we have a big hanger over here and 3 more on this side. And the bathroom is the new style bathroom. These have the glass doors on them. So glass doors are good. Toilet, and then the sink is a marble sink with plenty of storage underneath and a little trash bag down there. All your towels hanging up. This one also has the sofa that converts to a bed. So in this room, we're going to have 3 in this room. So that's where John will sleep. Cheryl and I will be out here. And you take all your suitcases and could put them under the bed. This side, for outlets, you have a couple of American outlets and then a European outlet. And then some USBs on this side. So plenty of outlets there. And if you look next to the bed, there are also USBs over there. So this side has USBs, and I don't think this side has USBs. I haven't found any yet. But then you come over to the balcony. So we splurged a little extra and got a balcony on this trip. Even though there's 3 of us, we only have 2 seats. So somebody's left out. And the balcony, it's probably about 5 foot wide. So not much wider than the chairs. You got a couple of feet off the front of them. And then length is probably about 10 feet. And then we're looking out over the ocean. The barge, they're still filling up with fuel. So that's a fuel barge over here. And that'll be leaving us anytime now. Typically sail away is about 4 o'clock. But it depends on if they're waiting for a few passengers or supplies or fuel. And that determines what time that they're going to leave. So we're shooting at 4 o'clock, hopefully, that they're going to leave out of here. And a lot of ships out waiting to pull in. And a few oil wells way offshore also.
And while the safety briefing is going on, a SEAL just happened to come up to the ship and, well, he was checking out what all that we were doing.
We will now demonstrate the emergency signal, consisting of 7 or more short blasts, followed by a long blast on the ship's whistle. This will be supplemented by the same signal over the PA system. So if you're sensitive to loud noises or have small children, please be prepared that signal is coming up next.
It's time to start exploring the ship. There's already activities going on, so check out the what's happening as soon as you get on board. I recorded it, but this video is too long, so I edited out what's going on as soon as you get on the ship.
But, you know, as always, nobody really looks at what all's going on in the activities list. You want to do your own thing and explore the ship, and that's exactly what we did. And even though it seems like we just got on the ship, well, we've been on the ship now for about 5 hours, and it's already dinner time. We picked anytime dining for our dining choice, and well, we like eating early. So we eat typically every day between 5 and 6 o'clock. So we picked 6 o'clock pretty much every day as what time we would eat. And tonight was Italian themed. You could see the little Italian flags next to the Italian dishes. Of course, some of them I'm skeptical of. Caesar salad wasn't in Italy, that was Mexico. And it may seem that we're eating like pigs, but we are. But it's 3 of us, so I took a picture of everything everybody got. So it's 3 people's food here. And some of it was a whole lot better than others. Some of it, I'll tell you if I didn't care for it. This we didn't really care for as much, but it was okay. Crawfish strudel, that's home cooking, so I like that. The Szechuan shrimp, both me and Cheryl both like. We both had that. And the braised short ribs, well, that was John. He liked it, and I had it on a different night, and it was good then too. Cheryl and John had the cake, but I was stuck with my typical strawberry cheesecake. That's one of my favorites. And remember, we're on anytime dining, so we're sitting at different places with different servers every night. So I took a picture of our servers so we would remember. And after our Italian-themed dinner, I thought I'd get an Italian drink, an Aperol Spritz. It wasn't my cup of tea. Last time I'll get one of those. After a quick show in the showroom, we sat down with a master piano player, and he also apparently a master duck hunter, as you can see by his ducks. But he was an excellent piano player, and we settled down in the piano bar almost every night after this. And after the piano player, the first one, well, he just played the piano. But the second one, Miss Elizabeth here, she played the piano and sang, and had a little comedy mixed in with her piano. She was excellent also. And at 9 o'clock, the showroom, the piano bar, Key 88, became adults only, so over 18 only.
Sing la la la, ready? La 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 la. Yes, that's it. La 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 la. Did he mean to make it cry? If I'm not back again this time tomorrow, carry on, and nothing really matters. It's a strong start. I feel good about this. How do you feel, Scotty? Great! Excellent. Just checking in. Too late, my time is come. Send shivers down my spine. Body's aching all the time. Goodbye, everybody. I've got to go. Gotta leave you.
And Miss Elizabeth, well, she said it best. We've got to go. To bed, that is. It's about 11:30 or 12 o'clock. It's time for us to get some sleep. And hopefully you've liked our first day on board the Carnival Firenze. And, well, there's more to come. This is a 7-day trip, and we're just on day number 1. We'll see you next time.